I got the Pixel 6 from Best Buy for $550. This was the Verizon version, so it was originally $699, so it was $150 off on sale for Black Friday. The unlocked version was also $599, and that was on sale for $499, but that was sold out. It says Google on the side of the box. This has the Google logo on the top of the box. It says Pixel 6. I'm going to pull the plastic tab off of there. Plastic tab on the other side. So this is the 128 gigabyte version. It's the sort of seafoam green Pixel color scheme. The other option for Verizon was Stormy Black. So the body of it's white and the trim here at the top is seafoam green, and it's black where your camera is. The phone is 6.2 inches tall, 2.9 inches wide, and 0.4 inches in depth, with a 6.4 inch OLED screen. It comes with a USB-C cable to charge it. And it has a USB-C to regular USB in case you need to convert it. You have your instruction booklet, your warranty, and it has the tool to get the SIM card out of your old phone. Let's take off the paper cover. Here's a look at the front of the phone. There's your buttons on the side, volume up, volume down, and power. Very similar to the previous Pixels. Your speakers on the bottom and your USB port to charge it. It says to hold the power button for 5 seconds and then follow the steps. Okay. Looks like the phone's on. It's starting up for the first time. Loading. Okay, welcome to your Pixel. Select your language, English, assistant options, get started. Activating network. Just a second. Phone activation, please wait while we prepare the phone for you. Can't activate. Having trouble activating your phone. Okay, let's use the tool to open up the SIM card slot. And take this out of the package. SIM card slot's right here on the side. Okay, so I'm just going to push the tool down. This phone actually comes with a SIM card inserted into it and a spare, so you don't need to take it out. I can just contact Verizon and activate it. However, if you want to use a different SIM card, this is how you can take it out and change it. The plastic piece will pop out of there. And you should be able to pull it out the rest of the way. I'm going to skip activation for now and come back to that later. The next step, the phone is searching for Wi-Fi. Now it says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. Also, I'm recording this on a Pixel 2. Now it's asking if I want to copy apps and data. It says you can choose to transfer your apps, photos, contacts, Google account, and more. I'm going to skip that for now by clicking Don't Copy. Now it's saying checking info. Now it's asking me to sign in with my Google account. I'm going to skip that also for now. Now it's asking about turning on Google services, so I'm going to scroll through and then accept that. Now it wants us to accept the terms and conditions, so I'm just going to accept that. And now it's asking me to create a PIN, so I'm going to create a PIN. Next step, it says set up fingerprint unlock. Has some information about it. So I'll set that up. How to set up your fingerprint. The fingerprint sensor is on your screen. You'll capture your fingerprint on the next screen. So I'll click start. Touch and hold the fingerprint sensor. So I'm going to tap it, hold a little longer, lift then touch again, hold a little longer, lift and touch again, hold a little longer. I'm going to keep going through this process until it reads my finger in all the different ways it needs to read my finger. Now my fingerprint has been added, so I'm going to click next. It says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. Swipe to navigate your phone, learn gestures to go home, go back, and switch apps. So let's try it. It says swipe to go home. Swipe up from the bottom. All set, you're ready to use your phone. Swipe up to go home. Welcome to your new Pixel. Tap for tips. I'm going to swipe right to get to the news, just like the Pixel 2. Swipe left. Very similar functionality to the Pixel 2. Swipe up. Here's all the apps on the phone. Scroll through. Of course, none of my apps are loaded over here because I decided to skip that for now. You have a bunch of new apps like Recorder. Let's look at some apps. Let's try out YouTube. YouTube, as expected, is going to look the same. One thing I noticed right away with this phone, it is a lot larger and heftier. The Pixel 2 was 5.04 ounces, the Pixel 5 was 5.3 ounces, and this Pixel 6 is 7.3 ounces. Previous Pixels were 5.7 inches, while this is 6.2 inches. Let's check out the camera on this phone. Allow camera to access device location. Sure, only this time. Turned on by default. Save location and motion photos. Done. Let's take a look at the video functionality. Swipe down to get to settings. Now set it to 4K. You can put it at 60 frames per second. And you can set it as 60 frames per second as your top resolution and frames per second. Now let's check out the camera settings. So let's go to camera, then drag down from the top. So we can record in full image or 16:9 wide crop. Set no timer, a 3-second timer, or a 10-second timer. Set your motion settings and your lighting settings. And there's more settings to go into. I'll go through more of that later. Right now I think I'll activate the phone. To activate it, you can click here and call Verizon, or you can go to the Verizon website. Once you log into your account, go to Verizon chat. It will ask you for some information, and then you can activate your phone. It's also a good idea to charge your phone before you set it up. Google Pixel 6 has wireless charging. Once the phone is activated, it will ask you if you want to copy all your data over from your old phone. There's multiple ways of doing this. One is by plugging the cable into both phones. So here I'm going to transfer data from a Pixel 2 to a Pixel 6 using the USB-C cable. Now that my apps are transferred to the Google Pixel 6, I'm going to put it in a case. I got the Spigen Tough Armor case for the Google Pixel 6 off Amazon. It was $17.99. Let's take it out of the box. There's the case there. There's the case. It has a little stand on the back, so you could stand up your phone. I had one of these for the Pixel 2, so it's very similar to that in design. Same with the side. Has a minus button and plus button for your volume, which I like, and then your power button over there. Looks like it has an advertisement for a charger. This is the Google Pixel 2 next to it with the phone inside. So this is what the case used to look like. As you can see, the phone, the Google Pixel 6 is much larger than the Google Pixel 2, both width and height wise. Here's the Pixel 6 in the Spigen case. I'm going to put it in the case. So there's the Pixel 6 in the case. That's how it looks from the back. Has a little bar here so you can prop up your phone. Has the open areas on your bottom for your speakers and your charging. You could also wirelessly charge through this case. I like this one because it's more of a rubbery plastic feel than the hard plastic of other cases. Once you're set up, you can unlock your phone with your fingerprint. Next up, I'm going to go over the basic controls of the Google Pixel 6, then take a look at some of the new functionality on the Google Pixel 6. If you had a Pixel phone before, it's very similar to the previous phones in the way the phone functions. When you turn it on though, you'll notice it's set up to use Android swiping gestures. So instead of the 3 buttons at the bottom, you can swipe up to the center here, and that's like the circle button at the bottom to look at all your open apps. Tap on the edge here to go back to your home screen, or you can swipe up and swipe up fast to go back to the home screen. So if you swiped over to your other apps and you want to go home, you can just swipe up quickly and it goes to your home screen. And the back button that used to be on the bottom is now a swipe from either the right or the left. So if you click on something in an app, and if you want to go back, you got to swipe from the right. Or if you click on something in the app, you could also swipe from the left. and then it brings you back. And of course, you can go back out of the app. It works like every other Pixel, so swipe right, and you have your pinned apps. And you swipe the other way, and you have your current news, and it has live caption. If you pull up, you'll see all your apps. Then you can scroll to an app you want to pin by holding on it and then dragging it up and putting it on your main screen. If you pull from the top, you can see your notifications. You pull down a little bit more, you'll see more options. Turn the brightness all the way up. You have your basic stuff at the top, your power here, your settings, and you can edit what's up here. If you don't like the swipe controls, you can always go to Settings, Accessibility, and then scroll down to System Controls, and then go to System Navigation, and you can switch it to 3-button navigation. So now you'll see the old 3 buttons are at the bottom again. So you can hit the square to see all your apps, instead of swiping up from the center, or the circle to go home, or the back button to go back. So if you don't like the new controls, you can always go back to the old ones, which is nice. Also, while we have settings open, let's try out the dark theme. Okay, so it switches your text to white and the background black. You can also see the search bar is now colored black. The news for today also has a black background, and some apps take advantage of this, like the calculator app. So we can turn that dark theme off. Now if you look at the calculator app, now it's white in the background. We can look at notifications by swiping down from the top. And you can dismiss notifications by swiping them to the left, or swiping them to the right, and swipe up to get back to the main screen. You can also swipe up on the edge to get to all your apps, and swipe down to get back to the main screen. You can also get to the power button this way. So hit power, and you can do emergency call, lock, restart, or power off. You can also do that by hitting the power button on the side and the volume button to get to that same menu. And of course, here's volume down, volume up. You can also quickly turn captions on and off here. So that's captions appear when speech is detected, when that's on. And hit the 3 dots. And you can adjust your media, call, ring, and alarm volume. Of course, you have your basics on your main screen here. Phone calls, text, app store. So you can download new apps there. Just swipe up to get back to the main screen. You can add widgets, like the clock widget here on your main screen. For example, you could click on Fit, click Widgets, and then drag a widget to the main screen. Or just hold down on the main screen, click Widgets, and you can scroll through and select from the different widgets from the different apps on your phone. Say you want Bing Rewards, and drag that onto your main screen. If you want to remove it, hold on to it, and drag it and remove it. We can also change our wallpaper by holding down the main screen, clicking Wallpaper and Style. So we can change the colors here, trying the different multiple colors. We go to basic colors. You can see the clock turns blue, and clock turns green, purple, brown. Okay. We'll switch it back. Change wallpaper. You can choose from your photos. There's Bing Live wallpapers. We click Bloom. So we have different flowers. And then we have Living Universe. So we could download any of these for our background. So let's back out of there. Go to Bloom. And let's try a lighter background. You can look at the home screen, look at the lock screen, and apply it. And you can set it either the lock screen or the home screen and the lock screen. I'm going to do both. So now we have a different background. We swipe to the left. It moves over nicely. If If you want a refresher on the Pixel 6 tips, you can always search Pixel Tips and go to the Pixel Tips app to review how to use the phone again. Up next, we're going to check out some of the new functionality in the Google Pixel 6. When texting, you can translate the text you receive using Live Translate. Use Live Translate. Get translations instantly as you chat. Translations take place on device and are never sent to Google. Spanish to English language will be downloaded from Google to translate across apps. Translate messages. I got a text that says quiero comer algo. Another text that says me gustan las hamburguesas. And then another text that says me gustan las hamburguesas con queso. So I'm going to expand that menu. Say ask to translate Spanish, Spanish to English, automatically translate Spanish. Don't translate Spanish again. So I'm going to have it set to ask to translate from Spanish to English. And click done, and it says I want to eat something now. Okay, I clicked on the text and I clicked done. It says I like cheese work with cheese. I may have spelt hamburger wrong in Spanish, but that's the Live Translate feature, so that's pretty cool. Definitely opens up a whole realm of possibilities when talking to people. If you can speak two different languages but still communicate. If I come back to the text, it'll be in Spanish, and I can switch it between the Spanish and the English version. So quiero comer algo, or I want to eat something. You can also translate when live caption comes up. Live caption comes up when you're watching a video or scrolling by a video. As you can see, here's the caption for the video that I'm watching. So if you click it, live caption is in English. Hit the three dots. Click this toggle. Translate captions. Use Live Translate. So you translate captions to make speech in other languages accessible. So let's translate captions. Right now, French, German, Italian, and Japanese are available. Let's try Italian. So it says that this language will be downloaded across the app, so messaging, live caption, and camera. So that has downloaded. So when you expand live caption, you can select your languages now. So it's English, since video is in English, to Italian. And click done. And I'm also going to go into settings and replace profanity with asterisk. Go back. And let's try it out. English to Italian. Okay. Video's playing. Se pasa el filtro giallo. Switch that back to English. We can turn this off by going to the three dots, going to settings, live caption, and turn it off. And go back. We can play our video without live caption. You can also use live caption for phone calls and music. You can also use the camera app to translate text that you're looking at. So I'm going to use the app to translate this Xbox insert text. Hover over it. Then I can go to modes, lens, go to translate. It's trying to translate to Italian, so I'm going to switch that to English. And you can see the text is translated. Take your console to a whole new level with the Xbox One vertical stand, exactly like it says on the top. The phone can also interpret language. Holding the power button. It says talk to Google with the power button. You can now press and hold the power button to access Google Assistant. Powering off, hold the power button and the volume up button at the same time, or say power off to your assistant. Be my interpreter. Okay, now Google Assistant is going to be our interpreter. So I want to speak a language. Spanish to English. Tap on the mic to start talking. Hola, ¿cómo está usted? And then it translates to hello, how are you? Me gusta carne asada. As you can see, that'd be super helpful, translating back and forth. Just close that out. Go back to the main screen. Next up, we're going to look at new apps and tools for the Google Pixel 6. The first tool we're going to look at is Smart Compose. Smart Compose makes suggestions when you type, such as hello, and then it's going to say how are you it's suggesting. So then you just swipe on the space bar, and then it completes hello, how are you? So you can use this in communication in such apps as texting, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Let's check out some of the tools, starting with the audio recorder. So let's open that up. It says welcome to a new kind of recorder. You have auto transcript, audio search, and you can work offline. So you can record, transcribe, and search without an internet connection. So let's get started. It asks if we want to back up our recordings, or we could keep our recordings offline. I'm going to keep my recordings offline. Click that. Record respectfully around others. Okay. I need to put up the Christmas lights. Pause. Add a location to the recording. So you can add a location to the recording. I'm going to say no thanks. And then you can resume, delete the recording, or save. So let's save it. Telling me that our recordings are saved to the phone. So if we want to search, let's search Christmas. And you can see it found the word Christmas in the recording. Let's record something else. Let's make waffles for breakfast. Pause it. Save it. Now there's two recordings. So let's search waffles. So I'm going to search waffle. And so one recording comes up, the one with waffles. Play it back. Let's make waffles for breakfast. And that's the recorder app. Let's try out quick phrases by going to Pixel Tips, Tools, to the quick phrases page, and then go to Settings. So now you can use particular voice commands without saying, hey Google. So say if you have an alarm set, you could say stop or snooze, and it will stop or snooze. And if you have an incoming call, you can answer or decline. So if you turn that on, okay, let's set an alarm. Okay, we have an alarm set for 11:16. It's 11:15. Stop. So without saying, hey Google, it stopped the alarm. These are the initial quick phrases that they're coming out with. I'm sure there'll be more. We'll have to see what happens to this feature in the future. We can also use Google Assistant to send a text. Good morning. Clear. How are you? Clear. We can also use Google Keep to take notes and reminders. So I'm going to open up Keep Notes. Let's open up Keep Notes. So now we have Keep open. So let's add a note. Let's make it a reminder. Let's do later today at 6 p.m. And we can use our assistant. Buy more waffles. Done. Now we have a reminder that will come up at 6 p.m. that we need to buy more waffles. Let's change that. And let's set it to 11:31 a.m. That's 11:31 a.m. Save it. And then we should get our reminder. We just got a reminder to buy more waffles. So we can mark that as done. Another new app from Google is Podcasts. So let's try Podcasts. Tap subscribe on Podcasts to add them here. You'll see the latest episodes for all your favorite shows in one place so we can explore. Then you can search podcasts and add them to your list and listen to them. When you're playing a podcast, you can resume it on any of your devices. There are a bunch of security features built into the Google Pixel 6. Two nice features are that you can turn off the microphone and the camera when you want to by sliding down from the top. And we can edit this. We can add a bunch of different features. And right here are mic access and camera access, as well as location. So you can drag any of those up. So mic access, camera access. And when you're using an app, like here's the camera. So you can see the reindeer right now. But if I scroll down from the top, swipe over, and turn off camera, now the camera app can't use the camera, so you don't see the reindeer. And you can turn that back on. Turn the camera back on. Swipe up. And now we can see our reindeer again. Next up, we're going to look at some personal safety features on the Google Pixel 6. Another important app/feature is the Safety app. So you can add emergency contacts. Let's skip for now. You can add medical information, such as blood type, allergies, medications, address, medical notes. If you're an organ donor, this app has a lot of features. You can get alerts about nearby crises. I turn that on. You can send on SOS to get help fast. You can use emergency sharing. Click emergency sharing, and it will send a text to all your emergency contacts, and it'll give your location to them as well. And then you can do a safety check. So you click safety check, and if you're taking a walk and you're expected to be back at a certain time, it will check to make sure that you are safe, and if you're not, it will notify your emergency contacts and emergency services depending on what you have set up. You can also turn on crash detection. The Pixel will detect when you're in a car crash, and then your phone will call emergency services. You can also send updates to emergency contacts when you're on call with emergency services. You can also set it up to hit the power button 5 times, and your phone will contact emergency services or any other number that you set up as an emergency contact. This is a really great app that has a lot of different functionality. That would be a good thing to set up. Next up, we're going to look at digital well-being features for the Google Pixel 6. Let's check out some digital well-being features, such as focus mode. Scroll down from the top. If it's not in your list, you can go to Edit. Scroll down, and then drag focus mode. We can navigate to focus mode and turn focus mode on. When you have focus mode on, you can pause distracting apps and hide their notifications. So say if you don't want any Facebook notifications, and check Facebook, and you can turn it on. You can also take a break from your pause. So you can go to take a break, and for 5 minutes, you'll get notifications from whatever apps you chose not to get notifications on, and those apps will also resume. So Facebook will resume for 5 minutes, or you could resume your break. And now Facebook is not going to send any notifications, and the Facebook app will be paused. The next digital well-being feature I want to look at, navigate over to it, is Nightlight. If you turn on Nightlight, you can see it gives your phone an amber tint, so it's easier to fall asleep at night. Studies have said that blue light keeps you awake. If you hold down on it, you can also increase the intensity and make it very amber, and change the start time. So if you want it to start at 10 p.m. or if you want it to start at, say, even 5 p.m. and then it will end at 6 a.m. Another feature to help you get better sleep, if we go to Edit, scroll down, is bedtime mode. So let's drag that up. Bedtime mode is off. Let's turn it on. So it says sleep better with bedtime mode. It will silence your phone and change your screen to black and white at bedtime. Only alarms and important calls can reach you. So it turns on do not disturb mode. So only calls from starred contacts, repeat callers, and alarms can reach you. And it will turn on grayscale on the phone. And you can choose when it is. So 11 p.m. through 7 a.m. Sunday through Saturday. Based on your schedule, turns on 11 p.m. Or you can do while charging at bedtime, turns on while charging after 9 p.m. So we can do that now. Select, let's do after 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. to test it out, and click done. So you can see the phone's gone grayscale. So you can see the phone is all grayscale, so this will be how it is at night. And you shouldn't get any calls except for your important and starred contacts. You can also get better sleep by using clock and going to bedtime. And you can set up a consistent bedtime and for better sleep. Then there's other digital well-being features where you can see how often you use certain apps or for how many hours you're using certain apps. And you can set limits to how often you want to use certain apps as well. So there's a lot of great digital well-being features on the Google Pixel 6. Next, we're going to look at some of the gaming features for the Google Pixel 6. The Google Pixel 6 also has features to enhance your gaming. So let's open a game. So I have Sonic playing right now. And if you pause, depends on the game where this comes up. You'll see a little controller. You could stream your gameplay. You can turn on frames per second. You can turn on Do Not Disturb while you're playing games. You can turn on a recording shortcut and a screenshot shortcut. You can also optimize your game. This game doesn't have that feature, but if certain games are very intensive, you could either optimize for better battery life or a better gameplay experience. Playing Sonic again. And then you can start recording, and you can decide if you want to use audio and if you want to display the touches on the screen. So I can start, and it's recording. And it's also showing the frames per second over here, 60 frames per second. Screen recording saved. You take your screenshots too. Here's the screenshot from playing Sonic on the Pixel 6. Here's the screen capture of me playing Sonic on the Google Pixel 6. The exported video file says it has a height of 1080 and a width of 2400. Let's zoom in to fit this to the screen. This is a very helpful tool if you want to do any video game recording and also capture your frames per second. Next up, we're going to check out the Google Pixel 6's camera. The next tool we're going to check out is the Magic Eraser. So I'm going to open up the Photos app. I'm going to select a photo. Go to Edit, Tools, and then select Magic Eraser. Tap to erase highlighted suggestions, circle or brush to erase more. So let's try to take out this in the background. Wow, that was pretty good. So you see it makes the bricks keep going into the siding there. Let's try to remove the pumpkins. It didn't work so well. Let's revert that. Let me try to circle it better. No, it didn't work so well. Just the one pumpkin. Let's try that. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. So it made the pumpkin go away. You can definitely see how it's smudging things, so it's not the best for all photos, but I would say if you have clouds in your background or something like that, those might be easier to remove because they blend more. Let's try another photo. I'm going to remove that ball, so I'm going to zoom in, circle around it. Now you can see the balls removed from the photo. Let's see if we can remove the other toy. Pretty cool, both toys were removed from the photo. Next up, I'm going to try out time-lapse video by going to the camera app. I'm going to video, and then time-lapse. Let's put it at 10 and hit record. Okay. So you can see the pie in real time. And then we'll take a look at the time lapse of eating the pie. So I'm recording this right now on the Google Pixel 2. And then I'll show the video on the Google Pixel 6 of the time lapse. Okay. Here's the time lapse that was recorded on the Google Pixel 6. Now let's check out slow motion by going to the camera app, go into video, and then slow motion. And then it's at 1/4, or we could do 1/8 speed. Let's try 1/4 speed first. Spin the quarter again. This time I'll do it at 1/8 speed. This is at 1/4 speed. When recording in slow motion, the camera recorded in 1080p instead of 4K. The 1/8 speed recording also recorded in 1080p, however I'll play that back zoomed in, so it's full screen. Here's the footage recorded at 1/8 speed on the Google Pixel 6. The resolution is 1080p and we're zoomed in at 200%, so it fits at 4K. I think slow motion video is really fun to watch, so I'm going to add a couple more. Take some slow motion videos of some M&M dispensers. I'm going to let the slow motion videos of the M&Ms play out without any voiceover. After those, I'll go over more camera functionality. Next feature we're going to look at is portrait light. So go to Photos. To use portrait light, just open a photo, go to Edit, and go to Tools. As long as it identifies it as a portrait, you can use portrait light and click portrait light. Move it to where you want it. And you can see now the left side of my face is much brighter. And we can adjust that. And lighten up the dark sections of your photo. And click Done. We can save as a copy or hit Cancel. So I'm just going to cancel that one. The next new feature is Top Shot. So if we go to the camera app, go into our settings, and then make sure you have A selected. Your Pixel phone will take a video and it will suggest moments or frames that are worth saving when you take the photo. I'm going to take a photo, Top Shot is on, timer's on, and click here. It's going to count down from 10 seconds. Alright, let's take a look at the photo. So if you swipe up, you could see those are all the different frames it took. So you could click a different frame. So you go through all the different frames and see I wasn't smiling in that one, so it didn't want to choose that one. It chose the one where I was smiling. And you can save as a copy, the frame as a photo. We can also take astronomy photos or time lapses of the night sky by going to Camera, go to Night Sight, and then you can see the moon turns into a star. And then we can click the stars. And you got to keep the camera still. So it's capturing more light. As you can see, cleared up the picture in the sky. It says wait longer for a better photo. Now it's fine tuning the image. It says keep it still. Okay, let's stop it. There's the photo of the night sky. Here's the exported night sight photo. I'm going to take another night sight photo horizontally. Our moon has become stars now that we have the camera still. So hit the stars and want you to keep the camera still. Capturing more light. It says keep still. You can stop it at this point if you want to. But the longer you wait, the better the picture. Wait longer for a better picture. Fine tuning the image. Capturing more light, so now it looks clearer. So I think I'll let this run for the duration. Okay, let's take a look at the image. There's our night sky. This is the horizontal image from the night sight, and after is the 1 second time lapse from the night sight photo. You can also use it just to take nighttime photos. So I'm going to take a photo of the Christmas lights. Here's how the photo came out. I think it came out very nicely. Comes out pretty well. Here's how the Christmas lights photo came out. The photos are bright and clear. Try to get a night sight of the moon. This is how the night sight photo of the moon came out. And afterwards is the 1 second night sight time lapse. Next, we're going to take out saving your photos to your locked folder. So go to the camera app and hit the folder in the top corner, and you can switch it to the locked folder. It says set up locked folder, save your photos and videos to a private storage space in Google Photos on your device, open locked folder using the current device's screen lock option. So let's go to Google Photos. So items won't be backed up or shared. Open with the device screen lock. Items will be deleted if you uninstall Google Photos and won't be moved automatically when you transfer devices. Okay, you set up. You're all set. Back to camera. Okay, so if we go in the top right corner, click the lock. Now we can take a photo of this reindeer. It gives you the option to move it to your regular folder. Ready? Now I'm going to take a look at the video capabilities of the Google Pixel 6. This is being recorded in 4K at 30 frames per second, around 9 a.m. with standard stabilization on. I think the footage comes out really nice. I'm going to let the rest of this play out. Then afterwards I'm going to show some 60 frame per second footage. Following footage is recorded in 4K at 60 frames per second with regular stabilization on. The 4K at 60 frames per second also looks really nice. It's great for taking motion video. Sure, it'll be great for taking any sports videos. The following footage is being recorded indoors at nighttime. This footage being recorded on the Google Pixel 6 is in 4K at 30 frames per second with regular stabilization on. This, of course, is my miniature house display, ready for Christmas. I'm going to let the rest of this play out, and then after this, I'm going to record the same thing using cinematic pan, which is for smooth panning shots, half speed and muted. The current footage is recorded on the Google Pixel 6 in 4K at 30 frames per second, using cinematic pan, which is for smooth panning shots at half speed and muted. You can find this when you go to Camera, Video, and then go to the stabilization icon. And then you can select Cinematic Pan. After this, we're going to look at smart features for the Google Pixel 6. And then we're going to look at performance for the Google Pixel 6. I hope you enjoyed the footage of my miniature Christmas houses. Next up, we're going to look at smart features for the Google Pixel 6. Another new smart feature is Live View. So if you open up the Maps app, and then get directions to McDonald's, put it on walking mode, then click Live View. Easily know where to go, get oriented quickly with directions overlaid on your real-world surroundings. Turn on your camera, be safe. Allow maps to take pictures and record video. It says point your camera at the storefront or sign around you. And it's loading. It says tilt for live view. So it shows the map and then we tilt it up. And then live view should start. So there's a 7-Eleven there. It will direct us where to walk to get to McDonald's. Say the street signs and everything. Yeah. So it knows I'm looking in the wrong direction, so it says to look the other way. It says the street. And gives you a map. If you look down, it switches back to the map. And that's Live View. Now we're going to look at the Google Pixel 6's performance. After running the Geekbench 5 benchmark, this Google Pixel 6 got a score of 1036, which is pretty impressive. It came in higher than even the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra at 924. And on the right side of the screen you have the Pixel 2 at 354 and the Pixel 4 at 663 respectively. So a great improvement over either of those Pixel phones. When running Geekbench 5 multi-core, the Pixel 6 got 2,902, slightly behind the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra at 3,085. On the right side, you could see that the Pixel 4 XL got a 2,205, and the Pixel 2 got a score of 1,361, less than half the score of the Pixel 6. When running Geekbench Compute, the Pixel 6 got a score of 7,293, while the Pixel 2 got a score of 775. That's almost a 10 times improvement. Of course, the Pixel 6 is on Android 12, and the Pixel 2 is on Android 11. Next, I took the 3D Wildlife benchmark for the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 2. It says the Pixel 6 can outperform 98% of phones tested, and the Pixel 2 can outperform 51% of phones tested. Let's see the results. The Pixel 6 got a score of 6,664, with an average frames per second of 39.9. The Pixel 2 got a score of 1,425, with an average frame rate of 8.5. So we're seeing more than 4.5 times improvement in performance from the Pixel 2 to the Pixel 6. When comparing the Pixel 6 to the Samsung Galaxy S21, you can see it's a decent improvement over the S21. So this is a really well-performing phone. However, the Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max, and most likely the Apple iPhone 13, outperformed the Pixel 6 in the 3D Mark Wildlife benchmark. Here's the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 6 side by side. The first thing I noticed when getting the new phone was the Pixel 6 is much larger and feels much larger. It makes the Pixel 2 feel like a toy. The Pixel 6 is 6.2 inches tall and 2.9 inches wide, while the Pixel 2 is only 5.7 inches tall and 2.7 inches wide. Even the depths are different. In depth, the Pixel 6 is 0.4 and the Pixel 2 is 0.3. When looking at the screens, the Pixel 6 screen takes up the whole phone. They're both OLED screens. The thumbprint to unlock the phone on the Pixel 6 is on the front, and on the Pixel 2, it's on the back. The Pixel 6 can record in 4K at 60 frames per second, while the Pixel 2 can only do 30 frames per second. Also, the Pixel 2 can use 4G, while the Pixel 6 can use 5G. Overall, though, you'll have a very similar experience. Pixel 2 had a 12.2 megapixel camera, while the Pixel 6 has a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera and a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Also, the larger screen gives the Pixel 6 a 2400 by 1080 resolution, while the Pixel 2 had the regular 1080p resolution. A noticeable improvement will be the base model was 64 gigabytes on the Pixel 2 and it's 128 gigabytes on the Pixel 6. Also, we had 4 gigabytes of RAM on the Pixel 2 and 8 gigabytes of RAM on the Pixel 6. Pixel 6 is a weightier phone at 7.03 ounces, where the Pixel 2 was at 5.04 ounces. Also, Pixel 6 has a 4,614 milliamp battery, while the Pixel 2 had a 2,700 milliamp battery. Another thing to note is that the Pixel 2 is on its last version of Android, so it's stuck at Android 11, and the Pixel 6 starts at Android 12. So overall, it's a nice upgrade over previous Pixel phones. Also note, the Pixel 2 did not have wireless charging. I wouldn't say you're going to notice anything really major day to day, except for like the size of the screen and the size of the phone, depending on if you had a smaller phone, like the regular Pixel 2. So overall, I like the phone. If you have an older Pixel or older Android phone, this is a good choice to upgrade, especially for $500. It's matching the performance of $1,000 phones. Is this the right phone for you? That all depends on what you're looking for. For me, the older Pixel phone USB-C port was getting worn out. This phone has double the memory at 128 gigabytes, and it supports 5G, so you could take advantage of all the 5G being implemented. So you get faster internet speeds for your phone. And at $500, it's a really good price, especially for the performance that you get. Beyond that, like I said, since I had an older Pixel, this feels like a larger version of that with more space. I also like the improved video recording performance that you can record in 60 frames per second at 4K and probably 4K longer, as the older phones, when you recorded at 4K at 30 frames per second, they would overheat pretty quickly. This has been an overview of the Google Pixel 6. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a comment below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.